Hello, this is Cesar. British people tell me Cesar. American people tell me Cesar. My name is Cesar. So very quick, I just want to share or to take this really great opportunity to talk about, and it's only through my cell phone. I apologize for the if the sound comes really bad quality, which I think it actually happened. I will try to be loud. I just want to share this situation that caught me while I know I learned about the great opportunity of this competition, which is actually just an experience for me, an experience. I was a keyboardist in my early 20s, my late teens. I was doing pretty well until I just went into the midlife, economic mid-level life, in which my parents paid the best university they could, and I had to go for that path. And I went as I was an executive in finance, and then I went all the way to have a master in business administration, an MBA, in the University of Warwick in England, which is not a small thing. So I forgot about music, but when I tried to retake it, I went for guitar. I'm not a musician. I don't play any cover. I cannot do that. I'm not interested. It takes me ages. It's not fun for me. I want to create. I enjoy more the creative process. So I play my stuff. Of course, that sets a very low ceiling, but whatever. When I came back to music, I went for guitars. I thought I consider it funnier for me to go for what I wanted, which was the singer-songwriter idea. And I started gearing up little by little, but in guitar. So I gathered a bunch of pedal effects, couple of electric guitars, couple of acoustic guitars, good quality, a little cheap interface, the weird thing I used. But it was not until like this February that I met a person, and it appears that I can take a dive into going for my all life dream, which was composing for film. And I started gearing up little by little, but I'm very careful with making this kind of decision. It takes me very long to make my mind upon where to put my money. So when I heard about this opportunity, I didn't have a keyboard controller with me. I didn't have anything to make this kind of stuff. So I quickly started. Well, I downloaded all the demos I could about plugins and VTS instruments, and I started making my session in GarageBand. And then I went and I overestimated the ability of DHL to work despite the pandemic uh, hurdles. And I finally ordered a keyboard controller from Germany. I'm in Kazakhstan right now, and it took 3 weeks to be delivered. So in the meantime, I started choosing sounds, and I was playing in my keyboard, in my KWERTY keyboard, and it's very annoying. When I was playing in any kind of, I kind of got used to, but then I was playing the R key very often, which when I was recording, it would stop the recording, and I just left it for later. So I was like in a situation of, I don't have the tools I need, so I have to get resourceful. Having my guitar gear, I was like, I will have to play live, not MIDI, and I'm very bad at it. You have to keep the tempo. Impossible. But I started thinking, what can I do? And that's where the video that I shared you from my computer screen direct to this video, because I did it originally just for Instagram to have fun, and I did it vertically. So I shot it from the computer to have it horizontally for this video. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sample it. I heard that GarageBand has a little quite of acceptable sampler. I went to YouTube, watched a couple of videos, and I started with it. So I took my computer, I took my guitar, and my amplifier. This is my guitar gear. And for a hobbyist that never plays outside of this is my like studio, my office in my apartment, office studio. When my wife kicks me out of my bedroom, this is my room. The all-around bedroom. And I said, okay, this is a situation that needs stress, emphasis. So I took my guitar, I took my Katana amplifier, which is very affordable and as well very good for these kind of situations, like in apartments. I used an effect that is a big muff, I cranked the gain up, or the sustain, which is called there, and I started playing harmonics with the idea of sampling that into the GarageBand sampler and use it on top of what I have already decided to use as a base for the composition. Sorry, I talked too much. This has been never-ending video. So that's what I wanted to share. It was a situation that I was very close. I made a comment to one of the guys in the competition, one of the thousands of composers. I'm surprised how many people want to compose. And I told him, wow, this is amazing. I had to prepare something similar to this. But my keyboard controller never made it until today, and it was June 1st. And I was like, no, this is going to be this was my first ever composition to picture. And it was a challenge to me because I was fighting with the composition. I was fighting with trying to hit the right shots, and I was fighting against GarageBand that I didn't know how to use properly. So I mentioned in that video that I don't want to deal with all this in one day, and the guy encouraged me, right? And I was like, okay, I want to try. So finally, I set up the keyboard controller, which happens to be a Novation Impulse 61. I think it's going to be discontinued, and it has a software that is no longer supported in the new iOS, whatever. Oliver has one, and that kind of made me define my decision. He ever touches it. I don't know why he has it there. Have you noticed he has his keyboard controller that Christian inherited him, and on top of his table there is a keyboard. I got one of those. So half of the day spent trying to make it match the garage DAW, which I didn't manage, and the other half of the day I started doing the stuff, and then I was mixing on my headphones, which is horrible, you can tell. But at the end, the most important part of my composition, I think, is comprised by these samplers I did with my guitar. It's everything you can hear on top, and it's quite annoying, I think, because they are the whole time. It's these souls, and then the other way around. So I use the volume and the whammy bar, and then how is it called? I don't know how is it called. I made like stutter, like I do the with a plugin that is called Glitch from a very nice company. They have a modular concept, and you can add little, very simple effects into a whole stuff. So this particular one is called Glitch, and it worked perfectly for what I wanted it. And then this is not in the video that I shared at the beginning, but the guitar started making feedback, when it kind of cries after you play it. And I also took those feedbacks and used them as a sampler. And those are actually, I use those. They were very distorted ones with high content for harmonics, but once they were sampled and the pitch was a little bit modified, because I don't know how to use the sampler in GarageBand, so I didn't get rid of the pitching effect of higher octaves against lower octaves. So when it's a little bit modified from its root key or range, it sounds more like horns, which I actually liked, and I use that to emphasize like the stress. For example, when they're inside the car, just before this guy jumps out of the roof to shoot with this amazing weapon, and it sounds like a horn. So I did all this because I didn't have a keyboard controller. So the whole thing I want to share is, don't give up if you think you don't have the resources. It's not being inventive, but it's being resourceful. And at the end, I end up, my composition doesn't have a lot of melodic lines only at the end, which I ended up recording on the keyboard, but everything was done on this. And I showed to some people around me, and they think it actually fits the scene quite, like it does what it has to do, like what it has to do. So that's it. Thank you so much for this opportunity to HBO, to Spitfire Audio, to Oliver for showing me his Impulse 61. Oh my God. And then, okay, thanks for the opportunity. Enjoy with everyone. Bye.